Hello, Jill here from TSC Talks, the source cannabinoids inspired by the condition known as tuberous sclerosis complex. I'm doing a quick podcast today. I thought it would be great to put together a few clips from Mike Robinson discussing cannabinoid medicine and coronavirus. This podcast, or the body of it, was recorded, let's see, March 13th, March 20th, around then. So it's interesting to see how situations have changed in a very short time, and things that Mike was discussing now are being coming into the forefront, where he's talking about cannabinoids possibly being a treatment for coronavirus, not a cure, but scientists calling for, researchers calling for scientists to study the cannabinoids impact on coronavirus, things that he was discussing in early March. So I thought it would be interesting to throw this back out there and add some of his other clips in. So I hope this is helpful, interesting, educational, and there will be more on the way from Mike. Thanks for tuning in, and take it away. Whoops, I missed something. I forgot to mention that we're working on a podcast called The Mic Drop with Mike Robinson, and this podcast following may or may not be under that umbrella. We're still working on deciding that. So clarifying that for a moment, it may be under TSC Talks or The Mic Drop. Take it away.
Cannabis is not been proven in any way, shape, and form. Not one cannabinoid has been proven to kill the coronavirus. I am seeing memes.
Yes.
I'm seeing articles that are troubling. Okay. It's one thing to say,
really?
Look, this has the potential to treat this. It's another thing to say we can boost our immune system. It's another thing to say cannabinoids have been proven in scientific studies to kill certain viruses. And yet it's a completely false claim to say cannabinoids kill the coronavirus, period.
Yeah.
That's not true. We don't have
It's important to put that out there.
We just don't have scientific proof of that. We do have some scientific proof that some other elements of nature, this into a tree bark, quinine extract. People can buy this online right now. And we do know that this is something that's being used to treat malaria. We're aware of that. Now, I can't advise anybody to go use quinine to treat their coronavirus or to keep themselves from getting it, but I do know that it is in phase 1 clinical trials. But there are no cannabinoids in phase 1 clinical trials to treat SARS, to treat an element of the coronavirus. So we do need to keep it realistic as far as what cannabinoids can do and what's been scientifically proven. Now, of course, my personal opinion varies from that statement. Okay, so that means my personal opinion means that it may not be scientifically proven, but it's also not scientifically proven that cannabis can indeed treat cancer and put somebody in remission. Yet I stand here today in remission after having 3 stage 4 cancers being treated only with cannabis oils. So of course.
So yeah, you have a little bit unbelievable.
So we have all kinds of things that are not scientifically proven. But when it comes to CD19 and claims that cannabinoids directly treat and kill it, that can be stated all day long as an opinion, but nobody should be stating it as scientific facts because we just don't know that. Any type of virus or superbug. Any of us that have been paying attention, not this year or last year, but the last 4 or 5 years, we've watched research showing us that different cannabinoids, especially in their acidic forms, and along with terpenes, have the ability to fight superbugs. Now, today, I published on the Global Cannabinoid Research Center blog. You're listing the different blogs I write on, and Nanolons is actually a corporation I'm part of, and I write the content for that one too, so I guess there's 5.
Yeah, you had said 5 in our other podcast, so I just kind of stuck in my head.
So on the Global Cannabinoid on the Global Cannabinoid Research Center blog, I published research from 2017. So I'm still going 3 years back. And there it's talking about cannabinoids fighting infectious disease, from staph to sepsis, to strep. We're talking about the same level of diseases when you add them all together that create a super virus like the one that we're dealing with now.
So the immunoregulatory role of cannabinoids during infectious disease.
Exactly. And I picked that research out to analyze and write an analytic on and publish today, because I felt that the industry itself has sort of stepped beyond education in the way that I like education to be. And the way I like education to be is to address what's happening now. But to me, we've got an issue. The issue that has Mike Robinson stuck in his home now has every single person over the age of 50 or 65 in the state of California ordered in their home. That order was just given by Governor Newsom only an hour ago.
Really?
Every single bar in the state of California has been shut down. Every single restaurant has been cut to 50% or 25% capacity at maximum. There can be no more than one person or one party, at every 4 tables in a restaurant as of today. This is why I say news regarding this yesterday is already old. You have to look at today's news. So when we look at what we can do with cannabinoid medicine, when we look at what we can do with hemp extracts, forget about medicine because we can't make medical claims, right?
That's right.
Okay,
I was going to bring that up.
I'm not selling a product. So I'm not making a medical claim. I'm talking about science and science that's existing. We know that acidic compounds and we know that oxidative compounds coming from the cannabis plant, the hemp plant, can do some amazing things. And one thing we know for a fact is that they can help us beat things like cancer. I can say that because I had not 1, 2, but 3 cancers at stage 4 and beat them all with cannabis oils. I had Lyme's disease and used cannabis oil to quit taking medication that I used for severe epilepsy, which I still have. So we're talking about all kinds of serious health issues.
This is life and death. And if the cannabinoids can address this, then why are we doing anything else with them right now? Seems fundamental.
We should be doing other, and I'm not going to go quite that far, but and I do think I think that yoga and meditation would probably really help me relax.
Oh, agreed.
But
we don't want to diss that completely.
So but the point is we're at a point that's cutting edge. We're at a bottleneck point in the world of cannabinoid medicine, and that bottleneck's being created by a lot of people who have biomass, who own labs, and have constituents, and have a price tag on those that people that can formulate things can't afford. That bottleneck's created by investors putting their funds into people that have a really fancy pitch deck, a really fancy looking branded product. That's a nice label. That's a nice box. Well, guess what? I don't care what the label and box look like on a cannabis oil, a CBD oil, etc. I care about the product inside and how well it works. That's what matters.
Yeah, it's like the forest for the trees type thing. Like we've gotten invested in the money aspect, and we're looking away from the amazing things that could be done.
You got to go back to the old school sex sells. Back when Marlboro could put their cigarettes on TV and alcohol advertised on TV. It was always a woman. And the Marlboro was a Marlboro.
Right. Virginia Slims.
And Virginia Slims. So when it comes down to cannabis now, there's men and women if you look on Instagram posing, holding things. But it still is that packaging sexy? I guess that's a good word to use. Does it look really appealing? You know what I mean? The packaging looks great. Well, that's all beautiful. But what I'm watching with the industry right now, as we go through such a trying time globally, not in the United States, not in South America. Look at Italy. Look at what's going on in China. I mean,
Oh my goodness.
globally, this is a nightmare. So what's going on right now requires some responses that need to be quick. Now, personally, I'll be okay. My family will be okay. I've got an entity that made a terpene solution, sending that over to me right now. It's an antiviral. I've got a couple grams of CBGA that I'm working on doing a little bit of syntheses with that can be moved into multiple different cannabinoids mixed with terpenes that can work as an antiviral. You know, so I'm sitting there talking to you on a podcast about things that people talk about under a non-disclosure agreement, disclosing to you exactly what I'm doing to fight this problem with me. The reason why I'm doing that is I don't care about money. I care about people. This house, this family was founded on compassion and love. The only reason everybody gets to enjoy Genevieve's story and Genevieve's dream and Mike's medicines is because of compassion and love. It brought me to a home when I needed one. It gave Genevieve a daddy when she needed one. And I'm not going to sit back and be silent while little kids are separated from mommy and daddy who are sick. I'm not going to sit back and be silent while little kids might lose mommy and daddy who are sick. And I'm definitely not going to sit back and be silent when mommy and daddy have to stay away from their sick child.
Yeah.
This time is now. We hear this
Yes.
all the time. Okay, in the industry, we hear all the time, the time is now. Well, you know what? I don't want to hear that from people waiting to make money. I don't. The time is now to act. The time is now to look into your stockpile of base constituents, terpenes, CBGA, CBG, CBC, CBDA, whatever you might have. What can you formulate?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying, hey, come to Mike Robinson and help me make something. I'm saying, hey, you've got stuff. Make something with it. Let me try it. If you need my help, I'll help you all day long.
Mm-hmm.
You want to make something together, let's do it. But please, people, do something. I mean, in my email, I got an email from an entity sending me a $25 offer wholesale for 200 milligrams of CBG in a hand sanitizer. Okay, now all that's doing is ripping people off. 200 milligrams of CBG, when you buy that wholesale, is a couple dollars. Put into a hand sanitizer at $25 wholesale to be sold at $49 retail. That's not helping people right now.
Yeah, I see.
That's capitalization right now. And somebody doing that, I'm sorry, I feel bad for you and your karma, because there's one hell of a virus moving around. Okay, so it makes a lot more sense to help people out and make something that costs $45 or $50 a month. That gives somebody a couple capsules a day of a strong antiviral to take, something that's already been proven in scientific studies to kill viruses. Now, you can't say, hey, guaranteed this is going to stop coronavirus. You can't say this is to treat coronavirus. What you can say is, hey, you can take minor cannabinoids, minor constituents formulated the right way, acidic compounds with terpenes formulated the right way, and you will protect your immune system. You will bolster your endocannabinoid system and make it function at its maximum capability. So there's a lot of
mic drop.
I don't know.
That was good.
There's just a lot of heat in my voice right now. I don't know what other word to put. There's a lot of emotion and compassion. I just wrote on launching a new compassion program in California, and I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, I guess I can feel it, and I can, the last example you gave about the hand sanitizer and the CBG, yeah, that's ridiculous in light of what's going on. And, not that people are trying to be ridiculous, but listen up, listen to what can be done and what you have right in front of your faces, and let's do something. That seems to be the message.
Exactly. And we don't have a lot of time today, but I do want to go over this really quickly for people out there.
Take all the time you need, Mike.
So for people out there that think they're sick, okay, if you think you're sick at all, look online at what you're supposed to do in your county. It's going to tell you where you're supposed to go. Your county Department of Health or health department is going to have the information on if your county is doing testing. It depends on what state you're in. Okay, in this state right now, you've got to be symptomatic, you've got to have a high fever, and you've got to be in isolation. If you don't meet those criterias, you're not getting a test. I don't get a test yet. With
I
3
found that
cancers in
amazing.
remission, yeah, I mean, I don't qualify for a test yet. I have to get sick.
That's it.
Okay, and I'm diagnosed with an upper respiratory infection right now. I've been ordered 2 different prescription medications, an inhaler and another, like I think something related to hormone to like dry up my lungs. But I'm not having a problem breathing. I'm a little short of breath, but I'm not having a distinct problem breathing.
Okay.
I don't have a hacking cough. I have a very low grade fever, like 99.1, 99.2. But if you are 101 degrees, 102 degrees, okay, you qualify to go to an ER room.
Okay.
Okay.
That's good
Don't
to
let
know.
them turn you away. If you've got a cough and all that, you let them know. You don't know who you were exposed to. You let them know this. See, for me specifically, I know who I've been in contact with over the last 2 weeks. It's very specific.
Right.
It's other than a trip to the Ventura Mall for Genevieve's carousel trip, which was several weeks ago. There's been no contact with any crowds at all for me. So because of that lack of contact, I don't qualify.
That's it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
So if I had an issue where I knew somebody that I had talked to, that I shook hands with, or what have you, then they'd go ahead and do a test. So as they get more tests made, and my doctor shared this with me yesterday, and like I said, I do consulting for her, so we talk in depth much more than the doctor.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so she shared with me yesterday that the 2 different things. One, the strep throat issue, that they believe that the strep throat that came through here several weeks ago was indeed corona, and that may have low level infected a lot of people. There's a group of UCSB college students that are all in isolation right now after coming in contact with a group from China. There's several people who came into contact with that group of students. So there is a distant relationship between myself and people that came into contact with that students. So the students now, these students have been in isolation for over 2 weeks. They are just now being tested, and they are all with 103, 104 fevers.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
So the reality of all this is there's not drive-through tests in Colorado for everybody to take. There's not tests for everybody to just go get as they wish.
It's not as simple as you think. I guess that's what's kind of blowing me away. Yeah, it's really,
not that simple, and we need to be long withstanding in this. So if you're rushing to go buy every last roll of toilet paper, my message to you is to break open one of your packages and start giving some of that to some elderly people who can't get to the store.
Absolutely.
Okay? If we don't come together, if we do not come together in unity right now, we're going to fall, all of us. And like the old saying goes, we're going to fall individually. So we can come together and be one, or we can keep on fighting, we can keep on competing. The message of community over competition couldn't be any stronger or delivered with any more passion inside me than I'm delivering it right now.
Yeah, I can feel it. Yeah.
And that's not all I got to say,
Yeah.
I hope everybody stays well.
Thank you, Mike. I wanted to ask you one more thing. What about Genevieve, and what about the special needs kids?
Alkaline water is very very important right now, alkaline water and alkaloids.
Okay.
That is what fights this. That's what fights viruses. So make sure you get your vitamins in. Treat yourself like you have a really bad cold, even if you don't, and prepare yourself.
All right. Wow. That's really intense and much appreciated. I wasn't aware, and I feel like I've learned quite a bit. Thanks a lot.
Too.
Take care of yourself.
Right.
Bye-bye.
You too. Talk soon. Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.